So, I always like to start these videos in a very glamorous location. So, just a petrol station near Howden. If you don't know Howden, it's kind of south of Yorkish. Not too far from Hull. And then the idea is to head over towards the Lake District. It's cold this morning, as you can tell by the condensation on the bike. So, I've reset all the trips. And it's a bit fresh. It is early. So yeah, 9 degrees, not so bad. Got my big Nox gloves on. I've got heated grips. I've got some spare gloves in my rucksack. In terms of riding, I'm just going to stay legally. So I'm just going to ride as I would normally ride, not as I ride for magazines or when I'm racing. So in villages, that's usually, you know, if it's 30, it's 30. If it's 40, it's 40 or thereabouts. Country roads, you know, up to about 90 or 100. Motorway, 80-ish. Just depends on the roads, really. Just riding sensibly, he says. So let's get going. So I've said reset everything. So yeah, we should be able to see what we're doing to the gallon and all that kind of stuff. Should be able to do tank range, comfort, and yeah, everything else. And as I say, the riding, I'll try and, well, depending on what the roads are like, because we're going to go over the centre of England, so we've got to go over the Pennines, I think that's right. And when you get over there, it can be grim. You know, there's snow gates up there. It shouldn't be that grim today, but that's why I've got all these layers on, because I've got over there before and it's been absolutely Baltic. So I'm gonna, yeah, it depends on what the road's like, depending on how I feel, depends on because what you don't want to watch is just loads of boring sitting on a motorway. But I do want to get there and back as well, which is always like a bit of an issue. Like some of my mates will do a ride out for 50-60 miles and thoroughly enjoy it, because they'll have 50-60 miles of, you know, challenging roads, where we're going to try and do probably close to 300 today. So we can't just potter about on little roads. We've got to kind of get on with it, really, which is, yeah, a little bit of a hindrance. Alright, if you've never been to Howden, this is it. Nice little place. Not too far. A lot of people come through here if they're headed to Elvington, so loads of events at Elvington. And you kind of last junction off the motorway if you want to get to Braden, Scarborough and Whitby and all the lovely east coast that we got. Yeah, and not using any sat nav or anything like that. I might connect my phone once we get a little bit over towards the lakes, because I'm not too sure where I am over there. But and everything else on the bike, yeah, we're standard. So we still on the standard Continental tyres that it came standard on. I've done, blimey, done track days on it, I've done touring on it. They've done about 3,000 miles, but they're still legal. They're pretty badly worn, but yeah, they're fine. I mean, let's see how they are in the cold temperatures. And as I say, this morning, you just gotta, when you're riding like this in an early morning, you just got to remember that the road overnight got really cold. So the road, the actual road, probably was down to 2 or 3 degrees last night. So that is actually, the road is cold, so there's not the grip that you would expect. And then you got all these little damp patches that you see now we're getting into October, like just creeping through. And the other thing, it's not so bad this morning, but on other mornings you get really long shadows when the sun comes out, because it's really early. So just be aware, if the sun is behind you and you're casting a massive shadow, then if you're coming up to a junction, then the person that you're coming up to a junction is looking into the sun. And again, with it being early morning, you got early morning commuters, people doing the school run. It's kind of when people are concentrating the least. Well, that's what I've found anyway. This is just beautiful. So the slight hiccup that I've got is I do love it on these little roads, but I've done 102 mile and I know the fuel light's going to come on soon, and there isn't any petrol stations around here, and so I need to get back on the main road. And then I might have to look at the phone to see where the next one is. I think there's one down that way, about 20 miles away. But as I said, it'd be a bit better if we had a fuel gauge, so I know how much I've got left. It normally does about 120 miles before the light comes on. But it depends on how you ride, doesn't it? And obviously if you're on roads like this, it's a bit better, but if you're on fast roads it's not. Look how nice this is. Oh, I bet that's freezing. So yeah, let's get back on the main road and see if we can find a petrol station. It is a bit fresh up here, I'm not going to lie. So this is the main route across. It's like dual carriageway in places, so it's not so bad. Excuse me. But you just got to be a bit careful of speed cameras up here, because it is very easy to speed, especially when you're going downhill. And the local police do like to pop a camera up every now and then. When the sticks, if you're not used to it, on the right and left, that's because in winter you get a lot of snow up here. So there's like a snow gate at that end and a snow gate at this end. Because it does get a bit bad. That's it, mate. You just stay in that lane, because I don't want to go any faster, so you should dictate my speed. But yeah, it's just beautiful up here. Bit barren, bit rugged. Oh, the sun's starting to come out. Still pretty cold, but it is lovely. I mean, there's nobody about. Look at that castle over there. I'd like to tell you something about it, but I ain't got a clue. Let's flick the cruise control on. There we go. 79 miles an hour. Heated grips are on number 3. I've got 40 miles to Carlisle, near enough. Just keep an eye out for speed cameras. It's reasonably comfy, but I say about this is about as much. Once you get above this, then it does start to get a bit pully on the arm, depending on the wind. But yeah, I'll sit at this all day. So I've done 115 mile, and then we've got the fuel light on, which is basically, it now counts down how many miles I've done with the fuel light on. So I've done 2 miles with the fuel light on. It'll do about 20 to 30 miles with the fuel light on. So now I'm just backing it off a bit. Keep an eye out for a petrol station, because I'm pretty sure there is one just up here. I'll flick through the dash. Yeah, 117 mile. What have we done to the gallon? Still 10 degrees. Uh, 46.2. Yeah, I've been quite heavy with the throttle, to be fair. So yeah, eyes peeled, check out for a petrol station, and then we'll brim it and yeah, head over towards the Lake District. As you see, it is looking brighter, but it's still cold. I got the heated grips on 3 and winter gloves, so we're doing alright. Little tip, when the fuel light comes on, if you can, is just lower the power mode. So I'm now in rain mode, which reduces the power and the torque. I mean, it's obviously not raining, but because I've got reduced power and torque, it saves a little bit on fuel. I don't know if it's just me, but anyway, that's something I usually do. If I'm obviously in town and I know where the next petrol station is, then I'll just leave it as it is. But when I'm out here and it could be 20-30 miles before the next petrol station, then I just want to conserve and tickle the throttle and yeah, hopefully find a petrol station. I knew there was one up here somewhere. So not bad, only a few miles with the light on. Let's get some juice and get going again. The only little pain is it is keyless. We need a key for the fuel cap and a key for the steering lock. But oof, those heated grips are warm.
A few minutes later.
So how beautiful is this? 9:30 in the morning in the Lake District. It's yeah, it's still a bit cold, but it is lovely. Woo. Look at the views. This is why everybody comes to the Lake District. It's just more of a appreciate how beautiful it is. Done check. So average 59 mile an hour, a bit quick actually. 47.7 mpg, and we're just done shy of 150 mile, and we are pretty much in the Lake District. So we got Keswick is just behind us, And as you can tell, it's pretty nice. In summer this is absolutely chocker, but because it's a little bit fresh, there's not as much traffic. Got to be a little bit on your toes because there's like little damp patches. Don't really know the road, but we're not after like going fast today. It's just steady away, enjoy the road. Watch out for dead things. It's like every lay-by is full of cars. Everybody stops off to go for a walk. Oh, bus stop. It's a shame we got stuck behind a bus, but it's quite nice down here. That bus is taking up so much room. Again, you can get like frustrated and want to pass, but on a road like this that I don't really know, just hang back a bit. Don't need to be in the boot of the car in front. Mr. Merck's going round, check the mirror. Off we go. This is, as I say, if you'd have been down here in summer, it'd be packed. But now it's out of season and nobody wants to be here because it's supposedly cold. It's quite reasonable traffic. Don't actually know where I am. I just know I need to turn left soon. I think I'll have to put the phone on the sat-nav soon. Traffic free, dryish roads. Somewhere in the Lake District. Bike's comfy, heat grips are on. Oh, I have to get used to this. What's through there? Oh, a lake. Well, it is the Lake District. Oh, what a morning to be out on the bike. Oh, it's a bit narrow. Oh, stunning. There's something nice about just kind of exploring. nice here that you could come off these main roads, find a little switch back, have a bit of enjoyment, and then if you want to make up time, just get on the main road, and you got a big open space where you can kind of open it up a little bit. Again, just got to keep an eye out for all the police, sadly. I mean, look at it, it's dead straight, there's nobody about, but they do hide speed cameras around here. Terrible. There's just nobody around. Deep in the middle of the Lake District. Beautiful day. Nobody. So we've done 160 mile or there or thereabouts. So yeah, gonna find somewhere for a brew, grab some food, get an early lunch, look at the map, and yeah, decide which way we're going to go back. So we've done 160, or yeah, so it's going to be over 300 miles by the time we get back to Yorkshire. I mean, the good thing about the Lake District is there's loads of little places like this where we can just nip in, get a little bit of food and nip back out again. Temperature's coming up, a bit warmer than it used to be, so we'll might get rid of the big winter gloves, swap them for something a bit lighter, reset the batteries on the GoPro. Oh, it's quite nice. Yeah, go again. So we're nearly back to Howden. Bit of motorway on the way back because just needed to get back really. Been out for the majority of the day. In terms of mileage, I think we've done over 300 now. We have done 303. I'm on my third tank of fuel. So I'm getting about doing about 120 miles to the fuel light, which I don't think is too bad. Averaging just under 50 to the gallon. Cruise control is really nice, simple, easy to use. Comfort levels, not bad. I mean, you're having a break every 2 hours or so because you're doing 120 miles, having a break, getting some fuel, getting back on again. So yeah, it's not so bad. I think, yeah, by the time I get back to Howden, it'll probably be like 320 miles, which is a fair old ride to one side of the country and the other. Let's get the mileage up. Yeah, it'll be about 320 miles. That's a good ride out, a good day. Don't feel too achy. The only thing is, when you're in a rush, you can't really put the hammer down because you're kind of restricted by how much you can hold on, really. Having a keyless ignition but a key for the fuel cap, that's a little bit annoying, I guess. And when you fuel it up, I always seem to take 12 or 13 litres despite the fuel light coming on, so I think there's plenty in reserve. And the screen, if you can call it a screen, yeah, it doesn't really do a lot, does it? And the amount of flies there's been is unreal. I'm absolutely splattered. Weird, maybe it's time of year, maybe it's with it being October, I am too sure, but I am absolutely splattered in flies. So I've been forced to do some unpleasant motorway miles. It's not that bad, to be fair. You can set the cruise control to 75, 80, and it's not the end of the world. We've done 313 miles. We're just got to go through Ermine and then we are back at Howden. Tank range about 120 miles. The fuel light comes on. The roads have been dry, they've been pretty good, although I had to kind of rush back, which was a bit... I wanted to stop in Windermere a bit more because it was absolutely beautiful and not a lot of traffic. In hindsight, which is a wonderful thing. Where are you going, mate? Then, yeah, I should have maybe stopped over at the lakes, to be fair. Had a night over, or yeah, just stayed later, but you need to be back. The bike, it does eat up some miles. I mean, 300 miles on a naked bike, so obviously you're hindered by how fast you can go because it depends on the wind direction. Oh, mud on road. Oh, thank you, Mr. Farmer. This has put a sign out. So you're hindered by how fast you can go. So when you're in a rush, like 80 mile an hour is about it. Keyless ignition but not keyless fuel tank. It's a little bit annoying. But yeah, the fly screen is that little screen is just cosmetic. It doesn't really do anything. It's just there for kind of show, really. But I'm not actually physically tired. I could do more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I could definitely do another, probably up to 400 mile, which that's pretty good going. The seat is really nice. The suspension's pretty good. We're just on standard setup. I did change it when I've done track days and other stuff, but we're just on you know, just completely standard. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. So hope you've enjoyed the video. We're gonna get this uploaded. If you've got any questions, fire them below. I'm gonna do one more video, I think, on the Beamer, like what we like, what we don't like the quick shifter, for example. That's very nice. The price, maybe not so much. And yeah, we'll get that uploaded probably the next couple of weeks. But as part of road tripping going, it is a comfortable retro hipster cruiser muscle bike, call it what you want. Yeah, it's done really well. 50 to the gallon, 120 mile to a tank, cruise control, really strong heated grips. Like, they've been really good. And yeah, thanks for watching.